This is Gio Woodley, the in-arena voice of the NBA G League's Osceola Magic, and you're listening to a presentation of Shreveport Mudbugs hockey. It's almost time to drop the puck. Let's send it ringside for the Landers Auto Group pregame show with the voice of the Mudbugs, Zach Grant.
The next stop on the calendar brings the Mudbugs to the South Division semifinals, and they are facing off against a historic foe. It's the Lone Star Brahmas from Brahmaland at the NITEC Sports Center. It's game one on this Friday night. Good evening, everyone. Zach Grant, happy to have you tune along with us. Duncan Walker will be joining me in a few moments. Welcome into the Mudbugs warm-up show, as always driven by our friends at Landers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. First round for the Bugs was successful, a sweep of the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. 7-2 victors on Friday after 4 first-period goals, including 3 of them before we even got to the media timeout. On Saturday, the game looked a little bit different. Corpus Christi showed some life, but the Bugs ended up 4-1 victors in that game. One of the best of 5 in the South Division semifinals. Let's take a listen back to Saturday night against the Ice Rays and the Bugs clinching the play-in series. In the power play. Right side, big drive in front, rebound coming down the left wing, the Bugs score! It's another power play tally. It's the Philly kid, Joe Semengo. Lighting the lamp, his 6th of the season, and the Bugs are up 1-0 with 5:34 to go in the second. Bounces free up top for John Byrne. He fires when he scored! John Byrne goes stick side. A Bug gets punched that time by Michelli. After the whistle, it's Tremblay. The rest of the Bugs mob the goal scorer, John Byrne, who sniped one. Top shelf, Bugs up 2-0 with 15-16 to go in the third. It's another power play tally. It goes off a man in front, goes off of Michelli's glove, and into the net. It's 3-0 Bugs, and celebrating back to center ice is Birchfield. Jumps into the bench, he gets mobbed by his teammate. It's the newcomer, Charlie Birchfield. The Bug all along in his heart. It's his 12th of the year, and it's 3-0. Next to the blue line, Tremblay. Backhanded shot, trickles past the skate blade. The Bugs score. It's Charlie Birchfield down to an E. He's going to go jump in the bench once again. The Bugs lead is 3. It's 4-1 with 3:44 to go. Plays down, Bugs have it. Hoagland will going to hang on to it behind the net, and the Mudbugs are going to take the series sweep. Challenge accepted and conquered. Phillips stands tall in net, and the Bugs sweep the Ice Rays. The legacy lives on as the Bugs are going to the second round. Tonight, the Bugs have a tough opponent here in the semifinals. The Lone Star Brahmas, they paced the South Division this season, finishing 42-12, 1-4 overall, outscoring their opponents by an impressive 71 goals. It's 199 to 128. And here in this building at the Shoebox, the NITEC Sports Center just outside Dallas, 27-0-2 record for the Brahmas. They are led currently by Leo Isaacson. He's got 4 goals, 6 assists in his last 5 games. Bugs are going to have to shut him down, so that is all coming up a little bit later on here near the 7:30 hour on this Friday night. Bugs and Brahmas. It's game 1 of the South Division semifinals. We'll take it Brett Smith on the other side here on the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Fireplace Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Fireplace gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantle and grills, they've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport, or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
All right, we're counting it down to Game 1 of the South Division semifinals between the Bugs and the Brahmas. Welcome back into the Mudbugs warm-up show, driven by Landers, sitting down with Bugs assistant coach Brett Smith. Now, successful weekend last weekend. Sweep completed against Corpus Christi, who the Bugs did struggle against in that regular season. 7-2 victors Friday, 4-1 winners on Saturday. Looked solid on both sides, but I think the goaltending really took over the headlines once again.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And, I mean, hey, you want to win games, you got to have a good goalie in there. And Philly was poised like we talk about and kept things under control and made the big saves when we needed to. I mean, obviously our offense seemed to be rolling, but, I mean, things can swing either direction. You know, if something slips by them and they gain some momentum, you never know what can happen. But, yeah, I mean, you need a hot goalie to win playoff series, and he's off to a great start, and hopefully he can continue that trend.
He added 2 more in that game before we even scored from start to the second, but there was a good energy early. What was kind of the key to that?
I think the boys are just fired up and ready. I mean, you can see it in their eyes. They're focused. They're determined. They've got a little bit of edge. You know, you can just feel it. Even this morning in the morning skate, I thought there was good jump. I thought the passes were crisp. The guys were ripping the puck, and there was a really good energy. So I think just from a day-to-day perspective and how you prepare and how you focus and being determined can lead to good starts. And you know, I'll say it over and over again. We need that tonight. We're coming into a tough building with a very good hockey team, and we need to be ready to roll. We can't take a shift off.
Unsung heroes kind of waking up offensively. Semengo had his first points in a while, and Simon scored his first goal since December. What have you seen out of those guys that you've liked recently?
I mean, Mango, for instance, both nights last weekend, man, he was motoring, he was moving his feet, and he always does, but he was just all over the place. He was tenacious, he was making smart plays, he was tracking back hard, he was doing all the little things that he has done all season long, but with an extra oomph to it, which is what you need in the playoffs. And Simmer, I mean, he's a big body, he knows how to finish hits, and man, he's got a nice touch around the net, and he played very solid as well. And those are 2 guys, again, like you need goaltending to win a playoff series, you need unsung heroes, because guys are going to get focused on. Your top guys will always get focused on by the other team, and if guys can find a way to step up down the lineup, then it's a complete team effort, and you can find ways to win.
Time now to investigate our opponents. Brought to us by DeFata and Associates. Brahmas pace the South. Looked at them quite a bit so far this season. They're coming off a bye week, of course, so really a grab bag of what you might see from them coming in.
Also believe it's nice to have played those last 2 games and got some momentum, and they'll be prepared. They got a great coach over there in Fonger, and he's been here many times, so he'll do everything he can do to get them rolling against us here tonight, and we need to find an intensity that they can't match, and I think we're going to be ready for that.
Our friends at S&D Fire Protection would like to know who's fire on the Brahmas we have to put out.
Well, they got a lot of good players, but I think that Isaacson, he finished the season strong with a bunch of points, and he's a guy that we're going to have to key in on and finish hits on and kind of eliminate him if we want a chance here to win.
And lastly, a Fireplace Specialties question of the week. Yeah. Lots of choices here after last weekend, but who's been hot for the Bucks?
Yeah, I mean, we need a guy like that running all over the ice tonight and causing a little bit of ruckus. Let's have some fun. Let's go get him.
All right, that was Bucks assistant coach Brett Smith for the Broadcast Network.
Did you know that Shreveport Regional Airport offers more daily flights than any other nearby airport? Daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, Denver, and Houston means you're one stop from anywhere in the world. Make the short drive to Shreveport and start your vacation sooner.
Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of yours. Shore is looking for a hearty and flavorful sausage. Has the perfect sausage for all old school smoke flavored sausage and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be.
Get ready, Louisiana!
Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our Sweet the Swamp Pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a Sweet the for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a Sweet the Swamp Pizza Bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum.
This is Ramesh Tremblay, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Alrighty, back here in the Landers warm-up show, driven by our friends at Landers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. Counting down to the opening puck drop on this Friday night. It's game one of the best-of-5 South Division semifinals between your Bugs and the Brahmas. Not much to look around the league. There's only one other game that matters, and that's a little bit later on, another half hour or so, and a 7 o'clock mountain hour out there at the Outpost Ice Arena. But so we'll skip kind of the look around the league, but nonetheless, we still got some starting lineups and an injury and scratch report to go through. So here's Duncan Walker to take us through those.
Thank you, Zach. And before we get underway, would like to send a special congratulations to Mudbug alumni netminder Sergiev. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to send a congratulations to Mudbug goaltender alumni Arseny Sergiev. Of course, 2021 Robertson Cup champion goaltender. That being said, thank you. Congratulations to him, and thank you to my good friend Conrad Krausert for giving me the inside information on his starting netminder position last night for the Calgary Flames. They won on his starting netminder position last night for the Calgary Flames. They won 3-1, by the way. Now, let's get into tonight. Firstly, the Whataburger starting lineups brought to you by our friends in Shona Chancer, taking the opening faceoff. And at center, from Brighton, Michigan, and the Plattsburgh commit, from Three Rivers, Quebec, number 24, William Alexis Tremblay. At the left defense from Dublin, Ohio, number 3, Evan Adams. And getting the start in it tonight for your Bugs, and in between the pipes, from Rochester, New York, and the Providence commit, number 35, Ethan Phillips. Of course, your Bugs are led by head coach Jason Soupy Campbell. Assistant coach is Brett Smith. Honorary assistant coach is Chris Lane. Willis Knight and athletic trainer is Hunter Robinson. And, of course, your head equipment manager is Billy T. Welker. Those are your Whataburger starting lineups. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Whataburger. Whataburger, just like you like it. And, of course, now as we roll on in, Bugs are now out on the ice. Now time for the Morrison DeWitt injury lawyers. Injury report. No injuries to report on the side of the Bugs. Good stuff things. That's number 18, Gabriel Lopez Corsi, and number 9, Ryan Barrett. Other than that, clean dice. They are fully set, ready to go. And now we're going to try something a little new. Billy T. Welker's uniform descriptions. T. Welker. Bugs are in the black jerseys tonight with the red striping and, of course, the redded out Mudbug on the front. Of course, the stripes are also on the socks, black helmets with the red Mudbugs word mark and full red numbers. Of course, for the lone way to get here is always more fun.
He said he believes the opening 5 minutes of tonight's game is going to decide the whole series.
Absolutely.
And quite honestly, I can't say I blame him. Lone Star is coming off a bye after a really successful year. How teams respond after buys, or they play like everybody in the college football playoff and they lose. So, I mean.
You finally returned a text. Thumbs up emoji. You hung up a shirt. You changed a light bulb. You walked the dog around the whole burger.
An icicle treat for every small feat. What a burger.
Down Home Meats, Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all.
The only hope for a dark world is the light of.
For the land of me and the home of the brave.
Big D, Dallas, Texas. It's North Richland. Take on your Mudbugs. And it was a late arriving crowd, but they're starting to file in. Still lots of empty seats, which is uncharacteristic, especially when these two teams meet in the playoffs, but it's what we got here on this Friday. Bugs will huddle down to our left in the all black and red. Go back to the classic playoffs look as they will huddle around Ethan Phillips, who gets yet another start for the Bugs in net.
Yep, absolutely. I think the best way to describe it is from the mouth of Vinny DiUlio, who we asked earlier this week. We asked the players this weekend, keep with the purple or go anything else. And Vinny DiUlio said black for the business trip. We'll have to see her tonight. I'm excited. And by the way, speaking of, you mentioned this crowd, over in Section B, right across from us, is Cheryl from S&D Fire Protection and the rest of her cheerleading crew. A lot of other Bugs fans in attendance tonight. Of course, honorary assistant coach Chris Lane is actually up in the stands, like up in the nosebleed stands over to our right. So a lot of Bugs representation down here in North Richland Hills. By the way, the limits of North Richland Hills, like the limits of it, mixes just a little bit with Hearst. So it's literally you leave Hearst and then you enter right into North Richland Hills. Pretty close. Just a fun geography fact. That being said, Zach, you know what time it is. Boys up on their feet. Signals, well, after head referee, 1 of 2, by the way, talks to, of course, Jonah Jasser and number 7 signals being thrown around. Charlie Burkett on the faceoff, and Zach, I'm excited. Let's get her going, brother.
Lone Star, who spent the entire season, gets their postseason started. The Bugs swept Corpus Christi, looking to keep riding that momentum as they've got the puck after winning the opening face-off, which Willie Trombley's got at his own blue line. At center ice, knocked away from him by Leo Isaacson, goes back into the Bugs' end, where Evan Adams tracks it down in front of his netminder, Ethan Phillips. Adams, the righty stick, will dangle, fed it off the wall for Birchfield, goes wide of his stick, and eventually controlled by the Brahmas back in their own zone as he lets go. Brahmas chance already starting here, not even 30 seconds in. It's not the largest crowd here tonight, but with the echoes off of the aluminum ceiling here, we've got some noisy buildings going on here. Playoff hockey as the Brahmas move right to left, and over the line they come for the first time into the offensive zone. On the right circle looking to set it up, and the Bugs immediately steal it away as Gerhard knocked it back only to the blue line, no, not out of the zone. Second chance clear for the Mazend as the Brahmas in white will play it up ahead. Knocked off the puck that time is Scanlon. He spins off a check from Evan Adams. Bounces down low for Sable. Hoagland battles 2 Brahmas and banks it out to center ice. It'll go all the way down, and the linesman will wash icing off. Gerhard wins the foot race to it, takes a check along the wall that time by Alexander Oliver. Tied up behind the cage now, works free as we've already got a scramble away from the play. Now up ahead the Brahmas into the zone. This is going to go for icing. Just barely as Remy, just a half a stride out of Tyson Scanlon. Draws the whistle with 18:38 left in the first. Ethan Phillips, we move. Overall, that's playoff goals against, 957 save percentage in his 2 games against the Ice Rays. And of course, it's slightly inflated due to only being 2 games, but that's not that far off his regular season mark, which was 939 save percentage, 1.95 goals against. Bucks will take the offensive zone draw here after the icing, but it's won by Lone Star as Nazarene carries it ahead towards center. Flip to the line for Lucier, knocked off the puck, and it bounces free back to the near side post. Now up the wall, Capano shoves a Bug down there in front of the Bugs bench, bounces free into the zone, though. And it's brought in off of the wall by Roberts. Far corner, works behind the net. Cycles and goes D to D now with it. Still on top of the goal line. Whiffs it, trying to get it back up to the blue line. Pounce along the near side half wall. Eventually controlled by the Brahmas. It's Nathan Murray, the 5'9" forward, who brings it ahead. Splits the D. Icing is washed off. Maloney wins the foot race. Shoved off the wall that time by Lucier. Bounces for Griner. Through his skates up the wall. Robert tried to get a piece of it. Held in by O'Keefe. Snaps it across. Right point. Looking for a play at the right circle. The Bugs will bank it back out to center ice. So good clear. That's what they're going to need to do to get those line changes going against the Brahmas early on as it goes behind the net. And Nander Poloni will leave it off for John Burke. By Semenko, goes to a Lone Star stick. Wildfong into the zone. His shot trickles wide, goes off of the boards, and gloved down by Phillips. And John Byrne, and now we're already get a big scramble behind the cage as we had a man cutting down the slot. Wildfong skated in on Ethan Phillips, and John Byrne grabbed hold of him quickly. Linesman step in, a 5-car pileup. Here, not even 3 minutes into the hockey game, 17:33. The boys in stripes tonight are going to have their work cut out for them, really all series. It's Nick Arbutunian and Sam Wilson Jr., the referees here tonight. And now Semenko getting ushered back to the box by the referee as he wants a penalty on the Brahmas. It looks like the Bugs are going to go shorthanded as John Byrne picks up the infraction.
Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. Nolan Wildfong is trying to poke the rebound under Ethan Phillips. And then, of course, the Bugs get the infraction going. But that being said, though, I mean, even after that, the Brahmas kind of, and not even kind of, they got into it like directly more so than the Bugs did. But nonetheless, Zach, Johnny Burnt going to go in the box. The Bugs are now in the first choice personnel penalty kill. Now one of two head referees, Wilson, giving explanation to both coaches. It's Soupy now barking away at the referees, because last time we were in this building, Zach, he got ejected. So have to keep an eye on him, but I get the feeling there might be a little more let go, both in terms of on ice and off ice, because, well, playoff hockey.
It's going to be a special teams battle. Lone Star's got the 5th best power play in the North American Hockey League. Sits at 24.8%. We get an early chance here as Lexell snaps it across to the right for Wildfong at the circle. Slides it to the blue line, back near point for Lexell. Lexell down to the circle, up top for Talacro. Talacro high slot, his drive batted down by Bates in front, never got to the net. Rebound comes off the near side wall. Wolf Talby wins the foot race and banks it all the way down. A successful clear for this penalty kill unit, which sits at 84.8% on the season. It's been top 5 or 6 all season long. It's currently number 5th. 34 seconds gone in the kill for the Bugs as the Brahmas will settle it down their own zone. Up at far side, quick pass up to Isaacson in the offensive zone, but Grinder immediately steers it over to the wall. Lone Star picks it back up. Sable's drive. Whistle side, bounces far side for Isaacson, up to the right point again. Back rises and Grinder clears it down the length of the ice.
Well, it's able to poke that puck down so the Bucks can get on it and jump it and throw it down the ice. Good stuff.
16:20 left in a scoreless first period. That's with these two high-powered offenses. Brahmas outscoring their opponents by 71 goals this year. Vincent Cinque brings it in and leaves it off for McFadden at the blue line. He gets shoved off the wall that time by McFadden at the blue line. He gets shoved off the wall that time by Jonah Jasser, grabs him up high. Bounces behind the cage. Now McFadden wins the foot race to it. Slides up the far. He does at the point. Now he works to the hash mark, shoved off the wall, but it's held in again. Vincent Cinque up tap for Dampoose. His drive through traffic. Phillips never saw it. Goes off of McFadden in front. Bounces behind the net. Thrown out in front of the cage. Vincent Cinque's got it. Slides up the wall for Dampoose. At the left point, leaves it off to the blue line again. Vincent Cinque gets it back. Down the slot, lost the puck. Jasser knocked him. Bounces free. High slide O'Keefe. He walks down Main Street. His shot never got to that. And the Bugs lifted out of the zone as John Byrne exits the box. A successful kill in the early going here. 15:28 first period. We're still in the early going here. 15:28 first period. We're still scoreless. Back and forth we've gone. Owen Case corrals it behind his own net. Works off to the near side. Now leaves it off for Evan Adams, who skates around the referee, hits the brakes, and hangs out behind it. Uses the goal for a screen. Now up the far side wall. It's Hoagland. Snaps it across for Owen Case. Plays the Karam into the zone. Immediately bounces back for Murray, though, at center. Gives it away for Earhart. Blue line down the slot. His shot. Kick save that time for Brady Craig getting a start tonight in game 1 as he makes his first save of the hockey game as it's pitchforked up the wall. Owen Case holds it in. Hoagland had it for a moment. Now it's banked off the wall the other way. Lucier down the right side. Hits the trailer. Murray hits one-time drive with his right skate. And we stay scoreless. What a chance. Cutting down. They try to go backdoor for Murray. And he can't get it past Ethan Phillips, who stands tall in net. Once again, as it bounces back behind the cage for Talacro. He's got a right circle. High saw Lucier's drive gets blocked away in front. Owen Case picks up the loose puck. He'll slide it across D2D behind the goal line. Sticks it near side for Gerhardt. Graces up the shot of the board. Will bank it in from center ice. Only got to the blue line low as it's good defense at their own line by the Brahmas. Back out to center. Hoagland got hit before the puck got there. Now it bounces free on top of the Brahmas logo. Quickly into the zone. Wildfong drops it off for the trailer. Lexell can't rally cleanly. Jason Simons picks it up. Simons had his first goal since December against Corpus Christi. Fed it down the slot for Griner. Couldn't get it away cleanly. Now it's up top for John Burnt. Right point down to the top of the right circle for Duke Earhart. Over his stick into the corner behind the cage. Simons picks it up. He wraps it around the far side board. One-time blast from Nandor got redirected on the way towards the net. Bounces to the ball up ad for Roberts. Through the center logo. Feeds it far side and not corralled cleanly. This is icing. Stops the clock with 13:39, but what a save over there for Ethan Phillips. The Brahmas were inches away from making it 1-0.
Oh, absolutely. And the play to set up that, by the way, as we look at the replay here. The Brahmas bounced it off the wall there and then was able to get a 2-on-1. Evan Adams, though, trying to make a defensive play there, but Ethan Phillips standing tall. Love to see it.
So McFadden in to take the ozone draw near side. He's got 28 points on the season, and Gary Sabatino is going to... Birchfield thought he was getting thrown out of the draw, but they'll just keep it here. And Birchfield wins this, but it bounces for Isaacson, who fires a blast. Kick save by Phillips. Direct over to the near wall. Talked with Charlie Birchfield before the game. As Dan Poots with a shot at the left point. It's gloved by Ethan Phillips. He's excited to be back in this building. Of course, his last time he was here with his first game with the Mudbugs, so he didn't quite understand what this rivalry means to both teams, but now he's back in the building in the playoffs nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, no, this building, well, Charlie Birchfield stood up to that, Zach, and I love it, and I love the fire brought by Charlie Birchfield. What I also love, Ethan Phillips able to cover it up there. It looked like he was going to play it a second there for Dandor Poloni, but Ethan Phillips able to just take the smart decision, cover it up. Nothing wrong with that.
Goes on a draw, this time for the Brahmas. It's tied up off of the face-off, all the way over to the wall. Vinny Giulio in a good battle that time at center. Now it bounces along the far side wall for Semengo to pick it up. Remy gets grabbed up high that time by 5 and white. That's Eric Alexander. Slept to the wall, and the linesman said it stayed in, but it's gloved down and covered. And now Remy is screaming at the linesman. He thought the puck came out.
Yeah, no, that definitely was offside. If you're able to look at the replay here on NATV, puck came cleanly out of the blue line. So Smith and Jason Subi Campbell, I mean, obviously there's no camera on me, and for good reason. Shoot, I was waving my hands just like I just don't care. But, I mean, that was offsides, but you know what? Sometimes you have to make chicken poop out of chicken salad. Or the other way around, chicken salad out of chicken poop. But nonetheless, good stuff, Ethan Phillips.
Face off far side, shots 5-1 in favor of the Lone Star Brahmas. Bugs were short-handed for a fraction of that time, but so far Lone Star is looking energized after their bye. As it's played up the near side wall, Remy will save it, but it goes trickling through the air, bounces off of the far side kick plate. Jackson Bates with the foot raid. He takes the check. Bugs save it at the blue line, but then it bounces out to center ice, and the Brahmas started the other way. In over the line, far side, down low. Birchfield wins the foot race to it, knocks it off the side of the cage. Phillips watches over it. Now it's in the blue paint, slid up the wall for O'Keefe. At the left point, far side, Jonah Jasser trying to win the foot race. Delacro picks it up, slides it back out to center. They went off of Brahma. Back to neutral ice. O'Keefe gives chase. He's got Birchfield cutting down on him. Birchfield stolen away. He turns and fires one. It goes off of a Brahma in front, up into the netting and out of play. And there's that hustle once more from Charlie Birchfield. He had 2 goals on Saturday, and talking with head coach, or assistant coach rather, Brett Smith before the game. Charlie Birchfield's going to be a big kind of cornerstone of this team in this year.
Absolutely, he's going to be definitely a big cornerstone of this playoff series. He's already been one, even in the Corpus series. Of course, the recently committed Plattsburgh man is Charlie Birchfield. Good to see him commit to Plattsburgh. But that being said, great awareness by Charlie Birchfield to stay on the Brahmas and get it in there. Even if it goes out of play, that's still good stuff.
That center, it's Earhart. Walks down Main Street. This shot kicked aside. Again into the netting, out of play. Stops time with 12:11 to go. Shots now 5-3. Crowd's starting to file in here. Late arriving crowd, but they're starting to fill in here. And wouldn't expect anything less in this series. Of course, just about 3.5 hours apart. It's one of the only matchups in the South, at least on this side of the division. And El Paso, though that's still 4 hours as well. So, nonetheless, some fans out here making a trip. Here's Adams' shot that gets redirected towards the net. Now it goes off the near side wall. Adams will pinch at the blue line, but it's backhanded out by the Brahmas. Here's Sable with speed down the left wing. Sable.
Best players got to be. During my time there, we talked about set. That was a big penalty killer, blocking shots, getting in lanes, disrupting plays, like whatever it took to be able to help the team win. Even
Intermission show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs. Conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or
sleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Word of God Ministries message.
Partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Wood stoves, mammals and grills. They've 100 Box Road in Shreveport, or on the 100 Box Road in Shreveport, or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is yours.
To chill or not to chill. Song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free and can cracking open was music.
25 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
All right, back here at iTech Sports Center, Bugs trail 1-0 after the opening period. Bugs scored on themselves. Saber gets the credit for the goal. 12th of the year at the 11:52 mark. Ethan Phillips has made some great saves. Shots 13-5. DeCinque and Oliver both get an assist on that goal. So that is where we stand after the first 20 here tonight. We'd like to welcome you back into our first intermission report. As always, brought to you by our friends at North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, offering oil changes, inspection stickers, batteries. Mention discount code MUDBUGS23 for more information. So not too many games going on in the North American Hockey League as we've hit the playoff time, but there are a few underway. So now it's time to take a look at our town scoreboard this evening.
Thank you, Zach. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for your Shreveport Regional Airport first intermission scoreboard update, brought to you by our friends at the Shreveport Regional Airport. Of course, within a goal now, but that being said, though, Zach, you're absolutely right. The Brahmas are an X's and O's team. They're going to formulate plays. They're going to specially formulate plays for every player. At least from what I've seen, no play is different for each of these Lone Star Brahmas players. I know that sounds weird, but well, sometimes you have to do that.
Just outside of 5 minutes into this second period, the Bugs will dump it back in. They've come back once with a lot of energy after the intermission and immediately into the offensive zone. Up top, Remy drives one. His bodies are flying here. Nitec Sports Center. Grana gets knocked down, battles against two Brahmas, but Oliver eventually lifts it out of the zone to center ice. Glove down by Mitchell Reed. Backhanded to the blue line. It goes off a body, and Sable plays it forward for Scanlon. Goes off of Jared Griner. Took that puck up high. Now it bounces through the middle. Logo for Roberts. Into the zone. Fires one from the blue line. Pushed just wide of the net. Sable picks it back up on the near side wall. Griner can't save it. It's touched up by Roberts. Dances around to check, but it's an offside stoppage with 14:27 left to go here in the middle frame. 2-1. Brahmas on top. The Bugs showing some good life here in the middle frame.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, you can't ask for a better effort from this Bugs team. Obviously, you can. I know it's a bit of a kind of a blunt statement there, but Bugs just got to keep on keeping on.
Evander Poloni controls the face-off, and it's dumped in by John Bourne. Takes a hop off of the board. Carlocker leaves off in the corner for O'Keefe. Slides up the wall for Isaacson. At the left side, hash marks tied up by Jonah Jouster. Bounces free behind the cage. Bugs pick it back up below the goal line. Trying to work around two defenders because Tremblay got knocked down that time by McFadden, trying to race after the loose puck. He's still in a battle. Knocks down McFadden that time. The crowd wants a penalty. Not going to get one from the referee as it goes back into the Bugs' end. Brahmas have it. Offensive zone. Looking to set something up. Bugs steal it away. Tremblay backhands it to center right. Up head for Jasser. Charges through center. Dumps it around two defenders. Bounces for Dampuso behind the net. Jasser races after him. Knocks him down as Dampuso goes sliding and forces a turnover. Foot race for it. Going to be one that time by the Brahmas. Owen Case was coming down the far wing. Shot thrown towards the net. Stopped by Phillips from an off angle. Draws the whistle with 13:35.
Yeah, no, down here in the left-hand corner, Zach, Willie Tremblay was getting paddled on there by a Brahma. And, I mean, we've talked about it all year. Willie plays with a lot of fire in his game, and, you know, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. But in this instance, obviously, I mean, you're getting paddled on by a guy who's been just harassing you all night. Sometimes you let the frustration fly, you just throw him down. Sometimes, nothing wrong with that. Luckily, no penalty out of that. I was right in front of the referee, don't get me wrong. But good to see Willie with some fire.
So it's carried out ahead to center ice. Garrett up and Earhart down on a breakaway shot. It got a piece of Cray in front. Takes hit, throws it out through the blue paint. Puck bounces free, and the goaltending showing off on both sides here. Now Scanlon down the right wing, dumps that for Sable as Earhart got robbed that time on the odd man rush. Just lifted it over top of Cray's stick side. He might have got a piece of it. Tied up on the far side wall. 7 minutes gone here in the second. Bugs trailed 2-1. They trailed 1-0, tied it up off a goal from Duke Earhart. He was looking for a second that time. That comes up left point. Dampu slides it around the end wall. Picked up by Adams behind the cage. He shoved off the puck. Bounces free far side for Sable. Battles two Bugs for it. And they try to clear it out. Slides up to the blue line and just barely poked out to center ice. Goes off a heads-up play. Then Gerhard got knocked down as he ran into a Brahma that time. Now Oliver skates up, going back the other way. Charging into the zone for Scanlon. Leaves it off back in the corner for Oliver. Below the goal line, Capano's got it far side. Spins off a check from Earhart. Puck bounces free as the Brahmas cycle around to the near side. Back up towards the point. Bugs force a turnover. Chip back out to center. Through the middle logo. Gerhard knocked off stride, but he stays with it. Gets the puck into the offensive zone. Nadradine knocks him off as the puck goes trickling towards the goal line where Nadradine will play it out once more. Murray picks it back up as Bucks trying to get a change here as the puck got tied up in Gerhardt's skates. Now it goes right in front of the Bombers bench. As Julio gets taken, or hit off the puck rather. Now Reed backhands it up to center ice. Oliver starts it back the other way. Dance by Lucier, tries to get around a couple of Bucks, and they force a turnover in front of Ethan Phillips. Outlet pass for Wolf Talby, doesn't connect. It's going to be a close foot race, and Wolf Talby wins it. Gets around Alexander. Wolf Talby in the corner, throws it up top for Julio. Couldn't get it down the slot. It's turned back over, and Capano will play it to center ice, but only to the red line as Semengo will dump it back in, and he gets knocked down as he cleared it. Wolf Talby throws the body at Oliver. Now the puck comes near side, lifted up ahead to center ice. Glove down at the blue line. Bugs doing a good job there trying to get away from Lucier. Tied up along the wall. Semengo gets it into open ice. He turns and fires it up ahead to center ice. Picked up by Griner. Griner down to left wing. His shot stopped and covered by Cray, who hangs on for a whistle with 11:20. By Cray, who hangs on for a whistle with 11:20 to go. Another great chance that time. Coming up on the offensive side of things as of late.
No, absolutely. Jared Griner been doing good. Able to get a shot on Brady Cray. Of course, hopefully he's doing well. Jared Griner.
The Bucks huddle up there before the face-off. Ozone to the left side, and he chips one on net right off of the dot, and Cray will pounce on top of it for another whistle. We'll do it again. That is something all season long we've seen from the Bugs, of being really aggressive off of the face-off dots. Has led to a few goals for him so far this year. As Roberts going to take it and tries the same play, but Telacro steps in front of his goaltender, so the puck never got to the net. Now it's played back out to center ice by the Brahmas over Griner's stick. Foot race for it down low. John Bird's going to win it in the corner around Bates as McFadden falls down away from the play. Now the Bucks will charge ahead through center ice. It's Roberts. Dances off around two defenders. Chips in and he knocks the Brahman out away from the play. Can't be doing that too much. The referee's going to call it eventually. It's played back out. That's two now the Bugs have gotten away with. Brahmas has gotten away with a lot as well. So the referees let him play. Now here's Roberts. Right circle. His drive goes through across the net front that time. Bounces back out to center. Goes off the boards. Birchfield leaves it for John Bird, who goes D-to-D behind his own net. 10:35 left to go in the second. 2-1 Brahmas on top as Owen Case will snap it off to the far side. Bug gets tripped up at the blue line, and we get a penalty call. The Bugs go into the power play. They draw the penalty that time, tripping. It's the third straight man advantage. Ventusingwe is going to take it, and the Bugs go back to power play. They need one here.
Oh, absolutely. The tripping goal on Christian Ventusingwe. Bugs go back to the Scott Powerline power play. Brahma fans aren't happy because they felt like there's been a few missed. Oh, all right. Well, excuse the salty language. Sometimes we all get a little heated. But that being said, Zach, Bugs need this Scott Powerline power play. But, yeah.
It's going to be Duke Earhart to take the offensive zone draw on the power play. Both him and Scanlon jump, so we'll do it again. Now this time it's tied up off of the draw. Scanlon's got it on top of the dot, and he immediately has two Bugs jump after him to turn over. Now tied up along the wall, and Scanlon once again gets hauled down. Tremblay's got it. High slot, kicks it to his stick. Willie shot through traffic, blasted just wide. Earhart picks up the loose puck, slides it up the wall for John Byrne. At the left point, works off to his right. Now down to the circle again for Duke. Duke into the high slot, snaps it across to the right circle. Now it's Hoagland, stands on top of the dot. His shot thrown out in front. Tremblay whacks at it to get it loose. Willie's got it back on his stick. Up towards the blue line, sends it down low for John Byrne at the left hash mark. He'll wrap it around the end wall where Evan Hoagland picks it up. Knocked off the puck, but it bounces free to Gerhard. Gerhard back for Hoagland. Far corner, tries to dance around O'Keefe. He's shoved along the wall, or Oliver. Call up coming, and now they're whacking each other behind the play. Meanwhile, down in front, Dampoose on it on Russ. His shot turned aside by Phillips. Rebound goes off the side of the net. Bucks get it back behind the cage, and now the net comes loose. So that'll draw a stoppage with 52 seconds to go on the power play. And 9:18 left in the second, and now Dan Wildfong having a discussion, wanting a penalty at center ice, not going to get one. As the Bugs are going to have a D-zone draw to contend with here.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes you can't let that breakaway obviously get past you, because obviously you get heated. Brahmas obviously didn't let it, but luckily Ethan Phillips able to stand tall with his pads right there. Good stuff there from Ethan Phillips, even before the net came off. So, that's funny, I've mentioned many times, Zach, this place is getting heated, both in terms of temperature, because it is hot in here, but it's also heated in a rivalry sense, especially this weekend.
Now up ahead, the outlet pass for Earhart. He's looking for his second breakaway of the game, but instead it bounces through his legs and right to the netminder, Brady Cray, who hangs on for his stoppage. Ozone draw coming up here. 43 seconds left to go on the penalty to Christian Benton Cinque, which has given the Bugs their third straight power play.
With Miss Cheryl from S&D Fire Protection. Mrs. Cheryl over there having a good time over there in Section B. Of course, on the Swamp Facebook group, there was a lot of people talking, a little concerned for her, but she's holding her own. She's doing it, and she's having fun.
He's wrapped around the boards all the way back out to center ice. I feel like anywhere in Brahma land is a hostile environment for Bugs fans.
Fair enough.
Section B, their own kind of special, but nonetheless, the Bugs will carry it ahead. 27 seconds to go on the power play. They somehow stay on side. Nice toe drag at the blue line. Bounces for Adams. Up top, Rowan Case throws it towards the net through the legs of Semengo and cleared back down by the Brahmas. Another good clear on this PK for the Brahmas. Although the Bugs have had their scoring chances on this one as well. Brady Cray's just been big in net. Now the Brahmas force a turnover with Wildfong will turn and burn and fire it back in, and this should kill off the remainder of the Ventus Cinque penalty. So now the Bugs got to be careful as they start the breakout with his coming out of the box. Back on far side, the Bugs will play it through center ice. Dumped in from the blue line by Roberts. He goes off for a change. Cray out of his net to play it. Jasper gives chase after it. Bounces for Semengo. Pitchforks it up towards the blue line, but it's turned over in the slot. That's the Cinque leads it off to his left. Now he gets it back off the edge of his stick. Gets tied up there at the blue line. That by Mitchell Reed. Puck bounces into the Bugs' end. They've got the puck working up towards their own blue line. Now back out to center ice. Sakrisky will dump it in over the Lone Star blue line into the Brahmas' end. Far corner. Nazardine wins the footer race. Gets hauled down. Puck bounces free at the circles. Sakrisky trying to battle a couple of players for it. He's still got it. Nazardine shoves him along the wall right there along the far corner. Christie gets knocked down. Puck is still loose. Bounces free. Ventus Cinque. Plays up the wall for Lexell, but it's held in by the Bugs. Wolf Talby has to go through his skates to the blue line. Still trying to whack at it and keep it in. It's along the blue line. Linesman looking for it. Still tied up there. And it's in the skates of Vinny DiUlio right on top of the blue line, which would have kept it in, but then it bounces out. Bugs tag up. DiUlio takes a hit as he dumps it deep. Nazardine wins the foot race to it, but he's immediately shoved off the wall. Cinque picks it up. Wolf Talby's in to check his. Just tied up there behind the near side wall. Bugs work it for Poloni. He fired one for the left circle. That one turned aside. And then Ventus Cinque is going to lift it to the blue line. Bugs keeping the offensive zone pressure. Wolf Talby heads off for a change that goes through his feet. Picked up by Alexander Oliver. He's going to saucer it up, looking for the outlet pass. And John Byrne was in front of Lexell. Lexell tried to grab him to draw a penalty. And, you know, when you go to playoffs, you've got two referees out there, Duncan, for a total of 4. Stuff like that, you're not getting away with.
No, absolutely not. Not at all.
Whew. You know, in the regular season, the referee gets to that play late. He might call a penalty.
Yeah.
Not happening. With 4 out there. It's got to be Charlie Birchfield to take the draw. Was talking to him before the game. He's excited to be out here tonight. The last time he was in this building with his first ever game of the Mudbug, didn't quite understand what this rivalry meant, but he's played the 2 makeup games plus that game, so a total of 3 thus far against the Brahmas. He gets it now, so he's excited to be out there playing tonight. He's got the puck on his stick. Behind the net, trying to get around 2 Brahmas. He slides up the wall for Poloni. The Andrews one-time drive, never got to that. Lexell will backhand it through the air all the way back down. Poloni's going to touch it before it gets to the circle, so no icing. Go icing the other way as Oliver won the race, says the linesman. That was a close one there. Looked like Willie Tremblay won it. He's having a discussion, but nonetheless, face-off's coming all the way back down with 6:27.
Yeah, no, I believe even from our vantage point, it looked like Willie was just a little stutter step ahead, but obviously the refs made the call there. Also, something else I want to address. Bugs have been playing a lot more physical these last 5, honestly, these last 5 minutes. They've been playing more physical. I love it. Been able to keep the puck in the zone. I love it. Again, I just love it all. Face-off comes far.
That's his game 1 of the best of 5 South Division semifinals. The winner of this series will see the winner of Albuquerque and El Paso, and that's really a toss-up series over there. I'm not quite sure who might have the upper hand there as Birchfield will throw it towards the net. Stick save comes near side for John Byrne. Byrne's got it. Knocked off stride, still has the puck. Hits the brakes behind the cage. Throws out in front for Tremblay. Tried to whack it towards the net. Was off the side of the cage. Now it comes out top for Jackson Bates to play it to center ice. Bates has up the near side wing. Snaps it across to the open ice. McFadden with speed down the left wing. His shot. Phillips got a piece of it. Bounces behind the net. Picked up by the Bugs again in the defensive zone. Worked up towards the blue line. They get it back out to center on the stick of Jared Grider. Takes the check from Jackson Bates, got knocked down. And then Isaacson plays it to the Bugs blue line, but not into the zone as Grider gets a piece of it. Stands on top of the blue line. He's got it. Now drops it back into his own zone. 5.5 to play. We're rolling along here tonight. It's only an hour and 20 minutes into the game. We're almost through the second. This one goes behind the cage. Cray will wrap it off of the board. Then Grider gets knocked down. Bounces up free. And now it's carried ahead by Tavares at center ice. Knocked off stride as he dumped it in. Bugs will track it back down. His own case snaps it up the near side board. Off the bench, Hoagland can't corral the outlet pass, and this is going to be another icing call. Takes a shove from O'Keefe, and Hoagland gives it right back to him as the linesman steps in. Evan Hoagland not going to be one to back down, and he was in a nice little shoving match that time. And Evan Hoagland, a 6'1" forward, plays a lot of defense as well. Now Evan Adams talks to the linesman here, and we'll see. That was another close icing call there.
Yeah,
Looked like Hoagland won that one as well.
Yeah, I'm about to say either Hoagland had won it or it just skimmed the top of Brady Cray's equipment there. I'll be honest, that's what I thought it was for a second, but oh yeah, we are actually halfway there. We're actually more than halfway there as well, one of the greatest party songs plays out.
On that face-off, the Brahmas took a page out of the Bugs playbook and threw it towards that right off the draw. Ethan Phillips got a piece of it. Now the Bugs will control defensive end as they look to break it out of the zone. And Owen Case gives it away right out in front. Backhanded shot towards the net. And immediately they cycle back on defense. Great play that time. Hoagland will leave it back into his own zone. Bugs look to charge ahead right to left here in the second period. Goes up the wall for Simons. He charges into the zone. Simons over the left wing. He gets knocked down. Puck bounces free into the slot for Sable. Sable through the middle logo. Off to his right for Scanlon. Scanlon, toe drag around two defenders. Leaves off left side. Big drive stopped by Phillips. Out of top of his crease to stop that one from Ventusikwe, who threw it towards the net. Bugs get it back up the far wall. 4.5 to play. Linesman, that's going to be offside as he fires it in. Concurrent with the whistle to stop time with 4:25.
Yeah, so in soccer, Zach, I actually saw it the other night between the Nashville SC and Club America CONCACAF Champions Cup match. Anytime the ball would hit the main referee out in front, play would stop. It'd be a drop ball there. So, I mean, I'm not saying they should start doing that in hockey, but I mean, it would stop a lot of sometimes advantages and disadvantages. But that's just my opinion. And God knows I got a lot of them.
Face off here at center. Tied up. Earhart was chasing after loose puck. Now it's an outlet pass. Just barely onside. Murray goes towards the net, and Phillips wisely plays it away from him. Bounces through the Brahmas logo at center ice here at the NITEC Sports Center. Game 1, best of 5 here in the South Division semifinals. It's going to be a long road to the Robertson Cup for whoever tries to get out of this division, with Albuquerque, or so New Mexico and El Paso the other series. 4 heavyweights in the North American Hockey League. And well, whoever wins out of the South this year might just make a run for it all. Here's Andrew down Main Street, kick save, rebound with off the side of the net from Capano as he was cutting down the far wing. Tied up by the cage. 3:40 and rolling here in period number 2. Shots 24-17 in favor of the Brahmas, but it's been the Bugs with the upper hand so far in the middle frame as Jackson Vate in over the line, but immediately lost the puck. Bounces free up ahead for Vinny Giulio. Through the middle circle, will dump it in, goes off of wall where Oliver tracks it down. Bugs force the turnover. Giulio throws it to the middle. Nobody was home, cutting down Main Street, comes back out to center. Poloni picks it up at center ice zone. Now Isaacson, the battle of the 17s along the near side wall. Oliver snaps it ahead. It goes off of Vate's stick all the way back into the Bugs net where Liam Wolf-Talby tracks it down behind his net. 17 minutes gone here in period number 2. Just 3 remain on the second period clock. And again, we're rolling along here. It's only 8:55 picked up ahead. This is going to be another icing call up coming here on the Bugs.
And Dan Wildflom doesn't look, well, how do I put this? Doesn't look happy, but I mean, depending on who you ask, when is and fourth icing calls. I mean, there's been a few of them where it's been the other thing on that icing call, so.
It's Charlie Birch for Watch Party tonight. Everybody watching back in Shreveport. For Wild Wings, Wings Beer Sports. So, you know, part of the not fun part of being a broadcaster is you miss the watch party. You don't get to having some fun here at the NITEC Sports Center. Birchfield will tie him off the draw and then to cross-check the way a puck. Slides up the wall. Poloni pinches and holds on to it. Behind the cage, Tremblay gives chase. Beat out by O'Keefe that time, but Willie gets the loose puck. Now takes a check as he wraps it around the boards for Poloni. At the left point, Tremblay tried to one-time it out of midair. Goes along the far side wall. Lucier sends it deep. Willie's got it below the goal line. Feed it back up top. Capano eventually tracks it down. Spins off a defender. Threw it almost at his own netminder, kind of like the Bugs on their first goal. And this one's going to go all the way down. And Charlie Birchfield's going to let up, so the linesman waves it off. Birchfield wins the race to it. Charlie's got it. Pitchforks it up the wall to center ice. 2:11 to go, and a huge hit delivered that time as Birchfield knocks down O'Keefe. Puck bounces free in front of the net. Jasser knocked off stride, almost turned it over, but far side eventually tracked back down by the Brahmas. But up to the middle for Tavares, through the middle logo. Now charges into the zone. Right side, from an A, he shoots one to Phillips. Kick save over to the far wall. Owen Case tracks it down. Bennett will stick it up the wall, but not out of the zone. Goes bouncing through the slot, goes across to second. Up bad as Tremblay will rifle it in, go off for a chain. Bounces near side for Simons, he had no help. Goes over the stick of the point man, Owen Case, all the way back down where Adams tracks it down. We'll have to go into second. Don't see that one every day, but it is icing nonetheless if it hits the post.
Yeah. First all icing this season are brought to you by our friends at Louder Baking Company. That's Louder Baking Company. Good people over there at Louder.
The Bugs with 13 shots in this second period. The Bugs with 13 shots in this second period. Been a good offensive frame for them. Got a goal back to tie it up. That was Duke Earhart. Not even 2 minutes in to the middle frame. And then the Brahmas got one back to make it 2-1. Back to make it 2-1. And that's where we stand currently as the Bugs look to tie it back up. 2-1. And that's where we stand currently as the Bugs look to tie it back up late here in the second. Heading into the finals. Left point, Dan Puth, one-time drive. Goes wide of the net. Capano gives chase. Simon splits the D, dumps it in, gives chase, tries to get around to Lockrow. Bounces free, and the Bugs force the turnover up top for Reed. He can't save it at the blue line. Goes back out to center where Adams picks it up on top of the middle logo. Down to the left for Reed, who dumps it back in. Simons knocked off the puck. Capano sent into open ice for Geller up ahead. There's going to be another icing call coming up on the Brahmas. They try to get the late change, but with the icing, they're unable to do so here with 30.3 on the clock in the second.
All right. Well, in 30.3 seconds as part of the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show, which brought to you by our friends at Sonic Drive-In. Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. The second half of my conversation with former Mudbugs captain and Roberts and Cup-winning defenseman David Braziel. And again, the second half, a lot of fun. But that's on the other side.
Bounces up to the point. The Bugs won the draw, but it goes over Adams' stick to center. Now they'll tag up quickly, and Gerhard. Now the linesman said they were offside, so they've got to tag back up. Brahmas pick it up behind the net. 17 seconds to go. Capano kicks it to a stick. Around two defenders. His shot goes up into the netting and out of play. Draws a stoppage with 11 seconds to go. So we'll see what Dan Wildfong draws up here late in second. So faceoff's going to come here to the near side. Again, Bugs back at home next weekend. Friday, Saturday, 7-11 puck drop. Game 5, if necessary, we'll be back at Lone Star 7 p.m. puck drop on the Monday night game. So do not trust the NAHL.com schedule. It's Monday night, I promise. At least that's what I'll be here, so hopefully Abel is going to come in and take it as the new center with 11 seconds to go in the second. Tied up off of the draw, the Bugs will win it to the wall, and it's banked off of the glass and all the way back down at center ice. It was Oliver who played it ahead. Now Earhart taps it into the zone. Oliver gets it back to open ice for Scanlon Can't Corral. That's going to do it for the second period here. Great effort from the Bugs. They bounce back after a tough first period, being outshot 13-5. They got the goal not even 2 minutes in to tie it up. Brahmas get one back off the stick of Nolan Wildfong at the 15:02 mark. And 2-1 is where we stand after 2 here in Dallas.
Well, I mean, it's been a good period. It was a good period, I should say. Of course, the shots may say one thing, the scoreline may say one thing, but of course, effort-wise, the Bugs, best effort we've seen in this hockey game. But room for improvement. I used it obviously twice. Needs to be limited. Again, limited turnover. The second thing I've noticed, again, you're still getting beat off the boards, but less. Bugs have been able to keep those odd man rushes limited to a T at least. I mean, there's a few here and there, but not as many as there was in the first period, so that's good. But honestly, Zach, I think the third thing is I want to keep seeing a physical game. Because, and maybe this is just what I've noticed, but anytime you play a physical game right back towards the Lone Star, no, Dan Wildfong will never let that happen. But they get a little confused. if you play that physical game to them. So I want to see that. I want to keep seeing the physicality. Take it to them, boys. But just some things to improve on, though.
The shots were even at 13 in the second frame, but the Brahmas hold the 2-1 advantage. We'll take a timeout. Sonic Drive-In second mission show on the other side here on the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Did you know that Shreveport Regional Airport offers more daily flights than any other nearby airport? Daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, Denver, and Houston means you're one stop from anywhere in the world. Make the short drive to Shreveport and start your vacation sooner.
Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meat and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home.
The flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event. 7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum.
This is Brahmas-4, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Welcome back to the Sonic Drive-In second intermission. Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the second half of my conversation with former Mudbugs captain and Robertson Cup winning champion defenseman captain, and then, of course, the 22-23 season you were assistant captain. What's been going on with you since then?
Yeah, I haven't at the University of Maine. I committed there late, so guys who are getting worried about commitments and stuff like that, I tell them just be patient and keep playing your commitments and stuff like that. I tell them just be patient and keep playing your game, and a lot of your games there. Our last season, we won the Hockey East Championship, which was one of the coolest. It's been coming along, and our season's starting to wrap up here. We got 2 more regular season games, and then make a playoff push. We finished first in our division, so we got home ice, which would be sweet, and looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and to be a bit of a bias there, where you had signed, because, again, before we came on, I was telling you about how, I heard all these great things, which, by the way, just by talking.
Nice.
Yeah, so, but that's
sweet.
Oh, yeah, but enough about me. David, moving away from the hockey side of things, at least for now, on the ice is one thing, but one thing I think a lot of Bugs fans will admit, and on the ice is one thing, but one thing I think a lot of Bugs fans will admit, and even some of the guys here now, and as well as the staff and unity is second to none. Is second to none. So just talk a little bit about it.
I mean, yeah, that's the perfect.
So just talk a little bit about it.
I mean, yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it. First, going down to Shreveport, it was a little bit of a culture shock, but in the best way possible. The people are fantastic. They treat you like they're your family, like right away. It was awesome. Our billet situation was unbelievable. I had great billet family. Shout out to Karen Mitchell and to Zach and Jordan Show. They were, my family away from home. They're some of the best people I could have ever been around. And for my mom and dad to send me somewhere for 3 years juniors at 18. A lot of guys are going to college, doing that experience, and we took a different route and did junior hockey. And obviously it's a big deal for you to move away from home, especially that far. And when they dropped me off, I think they felt that I was in a really good. The community is awesome, ton of support for the team, great coaches, great billet situation. So that was a relief for them and also a relief for me. It allowed me to play the best hockey I could have, focus on the game, and then also just be a part of the community that loves the Mudbugs so much and has such a awesome history there.
Absolutely. And something else I heard a lot about you, David, was you would take every loss to heart. That being said, David, we have a lot of guys on this team who emulate that. I couldn't get the words out. Who emulate that, where they take losses to heart, have that passion, have that fire, but it's just not quite seen as.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hate to lose more than you love to win. The cliche saying, but I think it's so true, and I think a big part of that comes from understanding that you're in Shreveport, you're playing for something bigger than yourself. I mean, there's a whole history of guys who have grinded there from the pro team to the junior team that have really laid it all for that ring, for that entire organization. So like you're playing for more than just yourself, and then you're also, I mean, you go out there on a Friday, Saturday night, and the place is absolutely packed, and it's juiced to come and watch you play. So, I mean, you're playing for more than yourself, which is you can't say that about every junior location. Not every junior place is like that. And so, I mean, you take the loss to heart and well for your community, for your billets, and obviously for your teammates. So I'll just say, just keep grinding, keep kicking, bigger purpose. And when you guys come back, I mean, the whole community is going to.
I got two more questions for you, and then I'm going to let you get going. Which, by the way, on the North Division Championship, of course, the Wheeling.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to say, and I think that's a pretty big achievement for you guys. Obviously, you guys won the South Division, obviously going into that Robinson Cup here. But before we get back to the hockey side of things, that's going to be part of my last question. What was some of the more unique experiences you had here in Shreveport, whether it be on or off the ice? What were some of the unique experiences you had here in Shreveport?
I mean, the weather. Like, I remember coming in July, August, I was like, oh, this is the hottest place on earth. It's got to be. It was the first couple months, but I'll tell you, my parents had 5 feet of snow back home, so I love that. Fans, just the support. That coolest thing, best experience for me. And then also, like, the fair coming into town was always cool. State wrestling, like, all of that was also really cool, just seeing what else was going on in the community and kind of being a part of it. Some of our best team building experiences were helping set up the rink for those events, stuff like that, and then obviously all the travel throughout all of Texas and New Mexico and all over the place. I think those are some of the best experiences I'll take back with me. It's like just the time on the bus with the guys and the time in the hotel. Like, you don't remember every single game, but cherishing those moments because it goes so fast. Just enjoying those, even though it's a grind sometimes, no doubt about it. But looking back on it, I'm grateful for it. I think it helped me get to where I am right now.
Absolutely. Now, David, I got 1.5 left for you. Excuse me, I cannot get the words up today. That being said. And I ask that because, well, I think everybody's listening to this broadcast and beyond. What were some of the unique foods?
It was awesome doing the crawfish boils. I remember first time I had crawfish, Karen Mitchell took me up to the casino. We did the whole buffet and stuff. It was awesome. And then Zach and Jordan show they would always do. Their family would have everybody over, and we'd do the crawfish boil in the backyard, and that was so cool. I remember Thanksgiving deep frying the turkey. That was a new one for me. That was awesome. The jambalaya, and then one of my favorites, and this isn't like a cultural thing, but I remember my bill at Zach and Jordan, they'd make these meatball subs. For some reason I was thinking about them the other day, and there has to be from them. But the food down there was awesome. I mean, I loved it, and I learned to appreciate some spice, a little bit of heat. Before coming to Shreveport, I was like, I'm not really a spicy guy, but I think after my 3 years there, I came around to the flavor that it adds. So I loved the food down there. I actually missed the southern cooking a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And there is something to be said about, coming from a different environment and being not a spice guy to being a spice guy, David. And I love that because I grew up here.
You're a foodie.
Yeah. Well, of course, not only that, but also I grew up here in Shreveport, born in Shreveport. And so every time someone's like, oh,
you must love the spice. I'm like, I do, but that is a different story for another time. David, I got one last question for you, and I'm going to let you get going. The last one being, we kind of talked about it earlier, but what would be the one piece of advice you would give to not only some of the guys who have 1 year left, but also some of our age outs going forward?
Take in every moment, just enjoy the whole experience. The days are coming where you have to be moving on and going to school or going to a new location, whatever it is. So I just say, each unbelievable attitude with the best effort, and it's one of the best experiences ever, especially down in Shreveport playing junior hockey. It was so cool and made me who I am today. So I just say, enjoy every moment of it, give everything you got, have a great attitude, best effort, outwork to make the guys in the locker room better.
Absolutely, David. I think those are words that I think these guys are starting to take to heart, especially as we get deeper and deeper into this playoff.
Cool. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they're memories you'll make forever. I think if I went through, I could name every single guy on our championships with. They stay in your heart forever. So, I mean, go out there and make a guy that you got in the locker room.
Absolutely, David. To be honest, David, I think those are the best words that we can end on. So, David, absolutely. David, thank you for joining me here, not only across the North Caddo Express Loop first intermission show, but also the Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. Of course, that's brought to you by our friends at the Sonic Drive-In. Sonic Drive-In, this is how we Sonic. It's good to firstly get to know you because, like I've said, I've gotten to hear all these good things about you. You're actually on Soupy's wall in his office. There's a picture of you holding the cup, and then there's a picture of you at Maine. So I'll have to
I miss those guys.
Plaque. And that being said, David, thank you for joining us this evening.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Appreciate getting to know you a little bit, and wishing you guys the best of luck going forward.
All righty. Thank you, David. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here on this Sonic Drive-In second intermission show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 20 Colorado.
Already back here on the Sonic Drive-In second intermission report. And this is how we Sonic. One score of note in the out-of-town scoreboard. The other game in the South Division. New Mexico 4-3 lead on the back of a trio of second-period goals for the Ice Wolves. They trailed going into the frame, but Mosvit and Pye, actually a pair for Nye and Pye. The latest coming at the 2:24 mark of the second makes it 4-3 Ice Wolves late with just under 2 minutes to play there in the middle frame. So that is a crazy game out there at the Outpost Ice Arena. I'd expect nothing less between these two teams. Got a crazy game here, although it's low scoring. 2-1 after two. The Brahmas on top. The Bugs fell behind 1-0 off an own goal. It was credited to Vladimir Sable at the 11:52 mark of that first period. That was his 12th officially of the season. Duke Earhart then scored not even 2 minutes into the middle frame to tie it back up at 1, his 25th goal of the season. And he's now, again, he got points in 10 of his last 12 games. He's been on fire as of late offensively. Then, 3 minutes after that, the 15:02 mark of the second, Nolan Wildfong got a beautiful feed, goes backdoor, just the second goal of the year to put the Brahmas back out in front. 2-1 is our score after the second period here at the NYTEX Sports Center. It's game one of the South Division semifinals here in this best of 5, the all-important first game. Bugs have had a good effort. They've come back from behind once. Can they do it again as we start the third period? Back in a moment here on the Bugs Broadcast Network. The answers on the other side of the break.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata and Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Right, the teams have retaken the ice here. About set to go in the third period of regulation here tonight. 2-1. Brahmas on again as we start the third period. As always, powered by our friends at Delta Utilities. Know what's below. Call 811 at least 48 hours prior to digging any projects. Delta Utilities know what's below. Teams have switched sides. Mudbugs will be going left to right here in this third period, looking to get their first goal down to our rights and even up the game at 2 goals apiece and look to take game 1 and take the series lead here in the best of 5. Winner of this series again against New Mexico and El Paso. Ice Wolves on top of the Rhinos 4-3 in the final few moments of the second period there. They got started a little bit after dusk going out in the mountain time. So tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. puck drop. Same 2 teams, same place to find the game as well on NATV or on the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. If you are joining us on YouTube, we do apologize for the buffering issues. Unfortunately, the internet in the building tonight is struggling. I hear there might be some people having issues with NATV as well, but again, hopefully that will be corrected overnight before game 2 tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. puck drop. We'll at the air at 7:10 as always with Landers warm-up. And then the Bugs are back at home Friday, Saturday, next weekend. 7-11 puck drop from the pond in games 3 and 4. And then game 5, if necessary, we'll be back here in Lone Star on Monday night, a 7 p.m. puck drop from the NITEC Sports Center. Just about set to go in the third period. The players all to their feet on the benches here, trying to rally their respective starting lines out there. Tremblay, Birchfield, and Jasper the fourth. They've got Adams and Case on the blue line for the Bugs. To start the third, the puck is down. We're off and going. Final 20 minutes. Bugs trail 2-1. Looking to tie it up once more. It's Evan Adams who controls the puck. The lone goal thus far for the Mudbugs tonight was Duke Erard, his 25th of the year. And already his 4th of the playoffs, by the way, and a hat trick against Corpus. They got another one here tonight, so he continues his offensive streak as the Bugs have it in the offensive zone. Tremblay shoved off the wall by McFadden there, far corner. Now battles a couple of Brahmas as O'Keefe also in there on defense. Puck squirts up the far side half. Well, the Brahmas started 3-player breakout the other direction. Carried ahead into the zone. Isaacson, his blast is stopped by Phillips. Kick save. Bounces far side where Jonah Jasser races after it. Undercuts Capon to get to the puck and leaves it off for Owen Case, who settles down ahead where Evan Hoagland plays it at center ice and he rifles it up into the netting and get the whistle nonetheless as the puck went out for the Bugs off to the, looks like glove left side of Brady Cray in net for the Brahmas. So Chris Key back out there. He lines up with Roberts and Andrew Poloni on defense. John Burnt to the near wing and Poloni stands just inside of the blue line to the far side of the ice. Inside of the blue line to the far side of the ice. Both players go down to a knee at the face. Back out to center. Into the crest of John. Lovett to his stick. Now up at his Poloni with speed. Up the Lovett to his stick. Now up at his Poloni with speed. Up the shot with the near side boards. Got knocked off the bucket. The blue shot with the near side boards. Got knocked off the bucket. The blue line. Still chases after it. Behind the near side boards. Got knocked off the bucket. The blue line. Still chases after it. Behind that. Slaps it across. Rivette to Sinkway plays it. And it's intercepted. Poloni cycles back. Down the middle. He lost it by Robert. Robert throws it towards the net, got blocked by Nadradine in front, bouncing towards the net, got blocked by Nadradine in front, bouncing on the timer, stopped by Brady Cray. Kicks it, timer, stopped by Brady Cray. Kicks it to the far wall, Nadradine knocks a man down there. That's Roberts. He gets back up to his feet. Scanlon ties it up behind the net. Brahmas trying to break out. Bugs doing a good job with some defensive zone pressure. This one squirts in a blue paint in front of Roberts. Couldn't get a piece of it. Now it goes up top. Big drive for Adams. Never got to the net. And now it goes up top. Big drive for Adams. Never got to the net. And John Burnt will save it down low. Another big stop for Brady Cray. Not sure he ever saw it. He got lucky, but it just hit him. Puck bounces far side. Scanlon slides up the wall for Wildfong in the bench, and faceoff's going to stay at neutral with 17:29 left in the third. Shots 27-20 now in favor of the Brahmas. We got 3 early shots to the Bugs 2. 2.5 minutes into the third period. We want to say hi to everybody watching Buffalo Wild Wings on Airline Drive back home in Shreveport, the watch party tonight. Getting some great food. Watching a great hockey game here. The Bugs struggled in that opening frame. So far looking good here in the third. Just trying to get that equalizer, trailing 2-1 with 17:20 to go here in the third. As the Brahmas will break it out of their own zone. Wildfang chips it ahead into the corner. It goes. Owen Case swoops down low behind the goal line, picks it up, leaves it off now for Evan Adams, who changes direction, cycles down to the near side, hits the brakes once more, using Phillips as a screen. Now he works to the near side of the net. Up ahead to center ice, Semengo chips it to himself, goes off a body in front, never got over the blue line, bounces back out to center. Tavares back into the Bugs end. Owen Cage wraps it around the board through the skates of the referee that time. Bounced up the far side wall, back out to center. Talacro's got it. To the right of the center circle. Stands on top of the red line for Dampoose, who dumps it in for Wildfang into the Bugs end. Owen Case picks it back up at the circles. Now up the center of the ice for Evan Adams. Flips it off the window all the way down. This is going to be icing on the Bugs with 16:36 left in the third. 2-1 our score. Faceoff's coming all the way 200 feet down length of the ice. But Magic on National Crawfish Day here on this April 17th Friday night. Had the Magic working in that second period. Duke Earhart got a great feed in front, and now it looks like there was a late change by the Bugs as Wolf Talby gets sent back to the bench, and Tremblay will jump back out there. Now the Bugs have 6. Tremblay goes back to the bench. Now it's 5-on-5, and it's won by McFadden. Back to the blue line for Dampoose. Around Owen Case, who then gets his arm free to knock him along the board. Puck is lifted out to center ice over the head that time of 5 in white. That's Alexander. He's got to corral it back into his own zone. Hits the brakes behind that, settles it down. Almost 4 minutes gone here in the third. 2-1, Bugs trailing here in game 1 of the South Division semifinals. Glad to have you tune in with us here this evening. As Remy Pusateri will slide it across the far sideboard. Jackson Bate pitchforked up the wall to Alexander. He caught 10 points in his last 5 games, 4 goals, 6 assists. But he hasn't really had that much ice time for the Brahmas this far tonight. As the Bugs will pick it up far side for Remy, who starts it up the shadow of the board. Snaps it into open ice, near side for Charlie Birchfield. Skates through the D, and he got hauled down with a free hand. He draws the penalty. The arm is up, and the referee, Sam Wilson, down there in the corner. Birchfield got hauled down, entering the zone. Holding is the call. And it's going to be a power play upcoming once. Scored in favor of the Bugs. They're going to the man advantage now. And we'll see if they're on defense. Was looking a little disjointed here on this line change, and now they're going to throw Willie Tremblay back onto the bench.
Yeah, no, and Brett Smith is not happy about that. And honestly, I can't.
The Brahmas hit off the side of the cage, and a rebound comes bouncing all the way back out to center ice. Tremblay has to give chase with Capano right behind him, and Willie will backpedal into the Bugs end. John Byrne picks it back up. 52 seconds to go on the power play. 14:33 left in the third period. Gerhard carries it into the zone, takes the check as he dumps it behind the net for Dampoose. Slides it around the end wall, and it's cleared once again by the Brahmas.
It's an interesting, not as great effort on this power line power play Bugs are having right now. But still 30 seconds left. Got to get something moving fast.
Adams now brings it in for Semengo. Left side. Bugs into the offensive zone. Semengo trying to get the one-timer. Now Roberts picks it up. Throws it towards the middle. Man got knocked down there. Bounces up top for Owen Case. Feeds it one-timer towards that again. Semengo trying to get the tap on the doorstep. Puts it just wide. Case picks it back up at the left circle. Below the goal line. Slid back up top for Case. Snaps it across right point. Adams to the circle. Back for Adam. Up top for Case. His drive through traffic. Rebound loose to the blue paint. And it's kept out as Brady Cray reaches by him and dives on top to draw the whistle as the Murray penalty expired. Great chance for the Bugs. But Cray keeps it out and it stays 2-1.
Just an excellent effort there, of course, by Brady Cray, number 35 of the Lone Star Brahmas, to keep that puck out of the net. Of course, as the Murray penalty expired. So, again, goaltending seems to be the theme of the night, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Well, speaking of goalies, of course, I talked to goaltending coach Rich Perron as I was making my way back up here. Actually, as we were both making our way back up here, and he says, better effort in the second period on the physicality side. If we can match our execution with the physicality, we'll get back into this game and win it.
Desverdine will play it around the end wall and the Brahmas end. They try to work it out. Back 5-on-5, by the way. The Murray penalty expired right as the whistle came. Played up ahead on an outlet pass for Sable. Throws it to the middle. Desverdine down the middle. His shot stopped by Phillips and a rebound. Scored free. Desverdine scores on the initial save by Phillips. And the Brahmas are up 2. With 13:25 to go. Desverdine cuts down the middle off a beautiful feed right in front. Phillips made a great initial save, but it's the third one for Desverdine.
Yeah, it looked like it squeaked right past Ethan Phillips as we look here on the replay on NATV. He gets it in, and it just squeaks underneath him. So, unfortunately, that's momentum of a puck sometimes like that, and for lack of a better phrase, it sucks. But sometimes it happens. But nonetheless, Zach, still 13:25 left. We've seen crazier things, obviously, but Bugs, again, got to match the execution with the physicality to get back into this.
So we'll see here, while we're away here, the Brahmas being thrown out on the ice, and one of the fans threw it at the referee, and he looked right up, and then they had a discussion about it. We'll see if anything comes of that. But 13:25 left. Brahmas now up by 2, 3-1. Desverdine gets the goal. Long. Now the Bugs in a precarious situation, but got to play smart.
You have 3 other games, but you also, well, actually, yeah, you just have those 2 other games. This one, full steam ahead, but obviously, it moving, go, go, go. It moving, go, go, go.
Alexander steals it away. Alexander steals it away, goes D-to-D at the blue line for Dampouz. He goes D-to-D at the blue line for Dampouz. As the Brahmas work it back into their own zone. Now they'll start up the far side. Dampouz with speed through the middle will dump it in off the top of the dasher board around the window. Picked up near side as they cycle it back for Dampouz. Holds it in at the left point. Lucier sends it down low. Through the skate to Capano. Bounces far side down for Murray. Murray off the side of the cage. Bugs will chip it to the near wall where Earhart picks it up at the hash marks. Tries to bank it off of the wall. The Brahmas hold it in off the top of the glass. And it bounces free for Evan Adams, who works back out to center ice, goes off with the linesman on the clearing attempt and stays in at the blue line. Out to center ice, goes off with the linesman on the clearing attempt and stays in at the blue line. Now it bounces and the Bugs get it back into D zone. It's Grayson Gerhard. Will leave it off at the far circle for Adams. Sends it across near side now for Owen Case. Up ahead to Gerhard with speed and over the line right side. His shot trickles through the slot. Picked up by Hoagland. Earhart races after loose puck, but the Brahmas clear it up into the seats and out of play. With 12:29 left to go in the third, and Dan Wildfong wants a tip. Well, that one looked like it went straight out off the Brahmas.
Yeah, I think it did. And luckily, everybody's okay involved. I think lucky fan gets a souvenir, but the more important thing being everybody's okay. That's good.
The faceoff's coming off here to the near side. Charlie Birchfield in to take the O-zone draw. 12:29 left. Bugs need a quick one here. As the Brahmas take a while to get set. Now Birchfield whacks at the puck, and now we got a delayed penalty right off the draw as Willie Tremblay got knocked down, and the Bugs go back to the power play. Then Tremblay takes the cross check from Lucier after the whistle. So Willie draws eye sticking call, and it's a 2-minute power play coming up for the Bugs.
Good stuff there by Willie to draw the penalty. Of course, eye sticking and the guilty penalty. It looked like, well, yes, it did. Number 5, that's Eric Alexander. So let's go back on the Scott Powerline power play, Zach. And as you mentioned, even as soon as the puck dropped down here, got to get a quick one.
So Jonah Jasser to take the offensive zone face-off. Bucks have a good chance here on a man advantage. It's one back to the blue line. Now it's fed right side off the outstretched reach of Roberts. Gets it back for Semengo. Right point, snaps it across left point for Case. Back up top for Semengo. Semengo off to the right circle. Roberts send it back off the wall. Case plays a Karam. Cross ice feed. Roberts lifted over the net. Had a great chance there. Puck bounced down front. Semengo got knocked down. He was whacking at the puck. But Isaacson just barely backhanded into the trickle all the way down to the Bugs end, where Jeremiah Roberts picks up, and he's going to go with speed as the Brahmas were on a change. Up the shadow of the right board. The cross center. He tries to dance around a defender. Lost a tire. Gloved down by Adams on the clearing attempt at center. And Evan retreats back into his own zone. Leaves it off far side. Owen Case carries it through center. Down for Adams. Adams swings it back for Jasser. Tries to cut the knee. Lost the puck until Locker knocked him down. Wildfong gets it back. and from the right post will dump it all the way down.
So far, a somewhat valiant effort on this Sky Powerline power play, but still not strong enough. Keep it going and get fired. Go, go, go.
Midway through the kill for the Brahmas, doing a good job thus far. Bugs had 2 scoring chances, though. Let's see if they can get another one here as Tremblay works it far side. Willie's got it with a full head of steam and over the line. Ridden off the puck that time, bounces to Scanlon, who uses the wall and banks it through the skate to the referee and all the way back down, where Ethan Phillips going to have to come off to left and then have to play. 30 seconds to go in the Bugs' man advantage. It's John Byrne hanging out behind the net. Now looks to start the breakout. Out of his own blue line, overskated the puck, got it back now for Duke. Duke to the left of the center circle, dumps it ahead from the blue line, goes off of the boards. Hoagland gives chase up the wall for Tremblay. At the right point, throws it towards the net, goes behind the cage once more for Hoagland. Tries to spin it out top. Isaacson steals it away, and he banks it all the way down again. That's going to kill off pretty much the remainder of the penalty.
You know, Zach, I'm actually above you now, and I can see over to the left the frustration of goaltending coach Rich Perrant. And honestly, I can't say I blame him. Bugs can't get fancy on really, not only on a power play chance like that, but really at all. Brahmas are going to take it to this Bugs team, and they've done so tonight, and they just can't be that fancy, but still.
Up at center ice, a couple of Bugs got knocked down. Brahmas starts a 3-player breakout up ahead. Mitchell Reed gets a piece of it. He can't clear it as it's turned over at the blue line. Scanlon sent it deep. Wildfong gives chase. Wolf Talby wins the race to the puck, though. Shoved along the boards by Wildfong. Wolf Talby gets it back. Gets a screen and looking for some help. It's eventually stolen away, thrown towards the net. Never got to Phillips. And it bounces far side to Mango. Sends it near side for Wolf Talby. Up the near boards. His shot for the circle. Stopped by Crane. He hangs on for a whistle. The stop time with 9:41 on the clock. And now Scanlon will jaw away after the whistle.
Good over there from Liam Wolf Talby to get something on net and get the Bugs an ozone face-off. Love to see that. Whew.
They'll look to set up the offense here to the right side of the offensive zone, to the stick side of Brady Crane. Jonah Jasser, Jeremiah Roberts, and Charlie Birchfield the forwards. Adams and Case at the blue line. So Adams is going to be along the near side, and Owen Case stands a few steps into the zone, waiting along the far side as the Brahmas cycle their players around as well to the zone. Birchfield now is going to try to quarterback Adams down low, and it's one to the center of the slot. Now Robert from an E will fire one. It never got to the net. Nazarene shoves Birchfield along the wall. Puck bounces free along the end boards. Now it bounces free along the near side wall. Up the wall to the point. Held in by Adams for a moment. Now it gives it away to Lucier. Bounces it up and Lucier's got a breakaway. Goes forehand shot, and he rakes it off the post. Great chance for Max Lucier, but he hit the iron. Back the other way, they come the Bugs, and that's offside as Birchfield couldn't save it with Jasser, and then Birchfield takes a shove from Alexander after the whistle. Oliver is going to go in for a dance partner as well. Everybody's going to congregate, but the linesmen quickly hop in for a stoppage here with 9:16 left to go. So we'll see how things shake out here. And now they're going to go to the bench. Looks like they might be taking immediate timeout, which they haven't taken all game.
I mean, maybe it's just dependent on the conditions of the ice. Maybe it's just dependent on flow momentum. I don't know. Either way, Zach, other side of the break, we'll get back to action. Bugs trail currently.
A couple of big scoring chances, but Brady Cray has been big in that game. 2 tomorrow night, 7:30 puck drop on this Saturday. And then next weekend, the Bugs back at home. Friday, Saturday at George's Pond, 7:11 p.m. puck drop. Make sure to come on out and join us and give the Mudbugs great home ice advantage at George's Pond. Hope to see a lot of good people out at the pond. We got a lot of good people coming with us here this weekend. Cheryl and company. Scanlon with offsides, got tagged up. A lot of other Mudbugs fans making a trip.
Yep.
They scared around here. It's Garrett gets knocked down. That draws the penalty, and it's going to be another power play for the Bugs. And, you know, at some point here, the power plays are going to become crucial, and that's where we are here. The Bugs have not done well in the man advantage. They've had their chances. Now they got to get one going here.
Yeah, I mean, to be truthful with you, Zach, I don't even think it's at some point. I think it's now. I think these power plays are becoming more and more crucial with every tick of the second. As, of course, Alexander Oliver goes in for tripping. And Vladimir Sable pleading with one of 2 referees there on the orange stripes. But again, I just go back to it. Every power play at this point, crucial, and if I'm going to say it again, crucial.
The Wild Fong's upset, but that was a tripping call. There are one or two other ones that were on the Brahma that might not have been penalties, but that one certainly was, as it's played for Grayson now at the right point. Bugs on the man advantage. Up ahead for Earhart. High slot. Burnt tries to one-timer. He whiffed on it. Trickles over to the near wall. Pick back up. Throw to the slot. Brahmas turn it along the wall. Now the Bugs pick it back up. Right point, Tremblay. Snaps it across for John Burnt. He gets to Karam. His shot goes wide of that. Bounces to the near side wall. Off the side of the cage. Eventually tracked down by Talacro. Thrown away from him by the Bugs. Here's Gerhardt at the right point. Up towards the blue line. His shot never got to the net, and it's cleared down the length of the ice.
That shot there just landed on the stick of Denver Dampoose, able to shoot it right on down the ice. And I saw Grayson Gerhardt's facial expression, the body language, not happy with that. And I can't say I blame him.
With John Burnt into the offensive zone, but Nolan Wildfong's going to win the foot race. Bounces far side. Brahmas can't clear. The Bugs pinch and hold it in off the bench. Here's Hoagland at the right point through traffic. Rebound. Gerhardt one-timed it. Goes off the top of the glass. Looked like it might have gone into the net. Now a big hit, and the Bugs are going to lose the rest of their power play. And now all heck's going to break loose as they all jump together down in the corner. Referee's trying to keep everybody away. Gerhardt is going to skate in after it, trying to play peacemaker here. I couldn't tell who delivered the hit. We'll see. It looked like it was Hoagland. He's going to be escorted to the box. He got him out of there quickly, and then everybody else still down there pushing and shoving as Gerhardt's got a hold of somebody down there, and he's got the height advantage over probably everybody else on the ice.
Yeah, no, looks like Nolan
as he's gone away with, I think that's Oliver over there in the corner, or maybe Wildfong.
Yeah, I think it was Nolan Wildfong. Of course, you mentioned the height advantage. Nolan Wildfong, 5'10", 160. Grayson Gerhardt, 6'3", 205. So, yeah, safe to say that. But the more important thing is, Zach, and actually it looks like we're going to get a Brahma in the box as well. I think that's,
as is Willie Tremblay, I believe.
Yeah.
So Hoagland got the initial penalty. The Bucks are going to be shorthanded regardless. We'll see what the call actually is. So definitely it looked like a penalty. I couldn't tell if it was boarding. It's kind of down there in the corner, right where the glass starts to curve. So we'll see here. The referee's talking about it's been a rather calm game.
Wow.
For the most part. Most of our penalties have been of the tripping/holding variety, but
with a high stick in there too. But I mean, calm, yes. Calm as that one game. The last weekend we were here, no, not in the slightest. But I wouldn't expect any less. So let's see here what gets added on as we wait in suspense. So actually, for the Bugs, of course, it will be Evan Hoagland getting added to the initial penalty. And I think that's just the way they're going to leave it off. So it's still going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah, there's still 54 seconds to Alexander. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 54 seconds, and abbreviated power play for the Brahmas. Here, Bugs trailing by 2, 7:54 left here in the third. Broadcast Network.
Congratulations! You kept a plant alive another day. You deserve a refreshing reward. Introducing new Whataburgers from Whataburger. You finally returned a text. Thumbs up emoji. You hung up a shirt. You changed a light bulb. You walked the dog around the whole block. Attaboy, it's treat time. The new prickly pear raspberry Whatafresher from Whataburger.
An icicle treat for every small feat. What a burger.
Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home.
Next weekend, Friday, Saturday, 7-11 p.m. puck drops. As always, you can find us on NATV or on the Mudbugs Audio Network if you can't make it out to George's Pond. For Duncan Welker, the entire crew, I'm Zach Grant saying so long, good night, and good hockey. The final here once more. The Bugs fall in Game 1, 4-1 to the Lone Star Brahmas. Game 2 on deck tomorrow, 7:30. We'll see you there. This has been a presentation of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on the Bugs.